Welcome back to the Zone of Reality. Welcome back. I'm the host, Brent Souls, and this is another episode. It's been a while since I've been on, but I'm back, and I'm continuing on now that I'm back about this case about Stephanie Peterson. Stephanie Peterson, if you recall, was the school teacher down in Florida, in New Smyrna, Florida, who was convicted and sent to prison for 3 years for having sex with her 14-year-old student. Now, what I want to say about that is this, continuing on where I left off at before. I got a couple of things to say in this episode in particular. I'm talking about the fact that here's, by the way, this is a picture of Stephanie Peterson right here. She was 27 at the time that she was convicted and served 3 years down there. She's out now. But the thing of it is like I said before, she never should have went to prison. Never at all. She went to prison 3 years for spreading her legs. That's it. Went to prison. I want to repeat this. Listen to this. Think about it. Went to prison for 3 years for spreading her legs to an ungrateful brat of a wuss 14-year-old named Preston Novacs. I found out that's his name, Preston Novacs. Went to prison, all right? He threw her under the bus. And the thing I want to say about that is, you know what, that not only was it unjust for her to go to prison for 3 years, the judge could have just gave her probation like other judges have done. She's never been in any trouble. She had a litany of people in the white-collar job market and everywhere else saying, look, she doesn't deserve 3 years. That's too harsh. And above all, like her lawyer said, he was indeed a willing participant. He banged her brains out, his teacher's brains out, but he receives no penalty. He gets no responsibility, holds no responsibility whatsoever for what he did. What kind of judicial system is that? If he, a 14-year-old, was assisting her in a robbery, in a burglary, or an arson, or even carjacking, he would be charged as an accessory. Why? Because he broke the law. Well, legally, Stephanie Peterson here broke the law by having sex with him because the law said he's a minor. Well, if she broke the law, how is it that he did not? Answer that. How is it that he did not? I know what you're going to say. Well, he's a minor. As I just said, well, if he was assisting her in anything else, a robbery, a carjacking, or anything else, he would be charged, wouldn't he? Yes, he would be charged. Why? For breaking the law. He broke the law when he had sex with his teacher, when he was banging her brains out several different times, may I add, doing it, and yet he is not charged. He should be charged. He participated in breaking the law. He knew what he was doing, therefore he should have been charged. But he throws Stephanie under the bus and saying hoo, boo, hoo, hoo, crying and saying literally in tears. And that's another thing. What 14-year-old do you know is going to break down and cry to his mother about having sex with a woman that looks like this? And that's exactly what he did. He broke down and cried and told his mother, from that moment on, he played the victim card. But he wasn't a victim when he was between her thighs, between her legs, banging her brains out, smoking marijuana with her, and hanging out with her, sneaking out of the house at 11:30 in morning, not coming home till 3 in the morning after having hours of sex with her, with his teacher here, Stephanie Peterson. He bears no responsibility. A matter of fact, the judge in this case, Zambrano, federal judge on there, Zambrano, told her she had to pay for this. But he doesn't. The judge went on to say, you affected his life. He's going to remember this for the rest of his life. Yeah, I bet he will. But this judge, what that judge is saying is that he had no responsibility whatsoever. He takes no responsibility for this. He was forced to fuck Stephanie Peterson. That's what this judge is saying, and he bears no responsibility. Well, Your Honor, the next time a 14-year-old comes into your court for doing something, driving without a license, carjacking someone, robbing someone at gunpoint, remember, they have no responsibility in it whatsoever because of their age as well. All right? But Stephanie Peterson did not deserve this. She should never have gone to jail. A matter of fact, she told his Preston Novacs, he was 14, told his mother at the time that she was in love with him, and she really was. She was in love with him and wanted to marry him. So it wasn't just a quick game banging, wham bam, thank you ma'am thing. She was in love with him. She told him that repeatedly, that how much she loved him and how she wanted to be with him and how she wanted to marry him. And it's absolutely incredible that you hear case after case of these teenage boys having sex with women, walking away scot-free without having to face any responsibility, any punishment whatsoever. When they helped, they participated in breaking the law. I recently got in contact with a state representative, and I asked him a question about this. I said, is it wrong? Is it illegal? I said, is it illegal for a teenage boy to have sex with his teacher? And I said, if the answer is yes, then why aren't these teenage boys arrested? Why aren't they charged if it is illegal for them to have sex with their female teacher? I said, if the answer is no, then why are these teachers in jail? If the answer is no, then why aren't these teachers in jail? It is illegal. Therefore, as I just said, why aren't these teenage boys being charged? They participated knowingly, willingly in breaking the law when they had sex with their teachers. They should be charged, and that's what I have to say about it at this moment. I have another flip of the coin to talk about concerning this matter. There's a different flip of the coin on this, but this is Stephanie Peterson. She's out now. I've been in contact with her, and she's doing all right, and she never should have went to prison. Never, ever should have went to prison for spreading her legs to an ungrateful 14-year-old who desperately wanted to have sex with her, and he did many, many times. She never should have went to prison, and you give me your comments, tell me what you think. Also, his name is Preston Novacs, and he lives in Oak Hill, Florida. Preston Novacs lives in Oak Hill, Florida. On the next update I'm going to give you his address, where he's staying at. So you can contact him. If you agree with me, I want you guys to contact him and ask him, what the hell was your problem? She gave you sex, and you turn around and put her in jail for giving your ungrateful butt sex? On the next clip, next go around, I'm going to give you his address and where you write to him, where he's living at, and you give him a piece of your mind. You real men out there. I'm talking to the real men, not these wimpy men or females who think that boys have the same emotional drives as women do. They don't. They're boys. Their sex drives are through the roofs, especially when they're teenagers. I know you women don't believe that. You think that teenage boys think about rainbows and unicorns and never ever think about sex. What planet do you live on? And I got some farmland on Mars I want to sell you. But next go around, I'm going to give you his address again. I'm going to give you his address again and his name, Preston Novacs, and you write him and give him a piece of your mind. I'm talking to the real men out there, the real men who, if I were approached by a woman who looked like this when I was 14 and she told me she wanted to marry me and have sex with me, most of us would be on her like white on rice, literally on top of her, like white on rice, screwing her brains out. So go ahead, look for me on the next chapter. the next course on this, and I'm going to give you his name. Again, Preston Novacs, and his address. I'm out, and peace be with you.